Here's my Dale Earnhardt inspired Group 3 Corvette that I'll be racing in these data races that I'm going to show you next. I made this one a long time ago before I really knew what I was doing. It still looks really good, I think, but there's definitely some improvements I could have made. But since I made it so long ago, it's actually not in my open liveries, so I can't change it anymore without redoing the whole thing, and I don't have that Taz anymore, and I can't find them, so this is how it stayed now. But I still really like it. So I don't think he ever had like this exact livery on his car, but I just basically took his 98 car, I think it was, the one he won the 500 with. Like, yeah, the good wrench is super warped. I could fix that now, but anyway. And I just added some of my own touches, basically. So Taz storming to the front. And then I've got the Dale Earnhardt 3 with the wing. So I'll show you some races coming up right now. So here's the first race with this Luciano guy. I'm going to call this video the making of a rivalry, because you'll see what happens coming up. We're really closely matched as far as speed. See, I come up the inside here, kind of got him, but I'm on the outside for these two corners, so I back off just a little bit. Try to coax him into making a mistake here. The Corvette is a little bit quicker on the straightaways, but it's a little slower through these corners here. As long as I get a good run coming out of here, I can usually get back up on people before the S's, but I make a small mistake and basically we're going the same speed now down the back straightaway. So coming through the S's now, I actually get a pretty good run through here, a little bit better than him. I think the Renault is actually faster through these if you do it properly. And then coming here, he brakes way earlier than I thought he was going to, and I smash it. I completely screwed that up, and I got a 3-second penalty, which pretty much suits the crime. But that will be first of a couple incidents between us. So I've got the 3-second penalty. The guy's about a second behind me. And not much happens until later on in the race, and I'll show you that. So I'll skip ahead now. So here we are, I'm serving my penalty. The guy behind me goes by, and Luciano is on my ass now. I actually expected him to dump me coming into this corner, but he didn't. I guess he wasn't quite close enough. And then coming into this hairpin here, at the last second I see him dive bombing up the inside, so I move to the right, don't get any contact, but I cut the corner right there and got a half-a-second penalty, which just kind of pissed me off, to be honest. So I didn't have the best race from there on out. He's got his four-ways on. I don't know if he's trying to signal something to me or what. Or if he just left them on by accident. But yeah, the leader is pretty much gone at this point. I mean, if he makes a big mistake, we could catch him. Either one of us, really. But we'll see later on now, because not too much happens. And now I'm coming up to him here. He's about to serve his penalty on the last lap. So I stayed pretty close with him. He got a penalty for going a little too far inside through the S's. And I was thinking if I could pass him after the penalty, it'd be good, but I wasn't quite close enough. So he makes a small mistake there, and I come back, and I was going to jump to the inside here, and he blocked my move there at the last second, and I hit him again. So he's probably not too happy with me at this point. And then again, I was trying to do another cutback here, but I spun my tires a little bit too much and couldn't steer around him at all. So he took second. Good job on him. And now here's our next race. I think this is the one. I'm not sure. Like, we had another incident, but I don't have it on. I didn't record it, unfortunately. And it might be after this race that we had it. We'll see. I'll tell you. Oh, yeah, it was the race before this. He kind of dive bombed the inside through the S's. I screwed up, but he pushed me right off the track, didn't get a penalty or anything, and I was not happy with him at that point. I didn't want to spin him, but I did want to let him know I wasn't really too happy with him, so. Oh, no, it wasn't this race. So it must have been after this race. So this race, he's in the Supra. So I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you later. He goes wide. I come back. And I tap him there. He hits me coming through there. Doesn't spin me, luckily. And actually gives me a bit of a boost for the straightaway. So he's got somebody right on him that he's going to have to defend. And I'm not going to have to worry about that right now. So as long as I keep getting good runs through this S, that's the biggest thing for this Corvette. If I don't hit my marks, it's really bad through here. But I do like this car, so that's why I'm using it. So you can see he taps me again coming through that tight corner. I guess he's telling me he's not happy with me right now. So I'm trying to brake a little bit later into some corners just because I don't want him to try to make a move. I hit this corner just about perfect. And I get a good run coming out, and I kind of take off from him a little bit from there. So later on in the race, he's actually gotten passed by two people. So I'm in the lead by a little bit. The guy behind me, I think he makes a mistake through these S's, if I'm right. Yeah, okay, so the guy behind me just made a mistake there. He was pretty close. And as soon as he spun out, I had a nice big cushion that I didn't have to worry about too much anybody around me. So basically I'm just kind of biding my time right here, not driving too hard, not taking any chances. And here I am coming around the last corner. Nice lead. Just to try to take the win. I slide a bit more than I wanted to, but that's fine. So I took the win. Here's the next race. I think this is after the last incident, if I'm... Because he's super defensive now because of the last race. He knows that I guess I'm not happy with him. So, yeah. Now we have a rivalry going, really, is what this is. And I'm hitting him here. I tap him just because honestly, I'm not happy at all with him after the race that we just had. So I back off a little bit after this. and just kind of let him go a little bit, because I was just going to get myself into trouble just like that. And then I make a huge mistake coming out of that corner, and honestly, that's pretty much my race done. So I'll skip to the end, and he wins the race. I actually got the lead back down to under a second, and then the last lap I had a horrible lap, and he had a great lap. And I think he took he took fastest lap there in the last lap, and I had a really bad one. He won that battle. Now here's the next race between us. I think he's in a different car now. I don't know what car he's in right now. But this is... Oh no, okay. Yeah, so he's behind me right now. This is after we've had a different incident. I started in front of him, and I screwed up and I got a penalty, and as he was coming up to me down the back straightaway, I moved to the left late, and we wrecked. It wasn't... I was trying to block, and I probably blocked a little late. So we both wrecked, and then I got a penalty for that, and then after he caught up to me from the penalty, I got punted from behind and hit into him, and he went way off the track. So he's pissed off. Super pissed off at me, which you'll see in a minute. I actually thought he was going to go for a dive there. That's why I drove so far inside. But I was actually looking really forward to this race because this guy in front of me is quicker than me, and I just wanted to learn from him. Or girl. No, possibly. Sandra, so I don't know. So I'm pretty sure I got a penalty for that. Oh no, okay, I didn't get a penalty for that. So that probably pisses him off more. Like, why the hell is he not getting penalties and I am? And he... Oh, okay, it's not this corner. So I lose a little bit on this Beetle, and he gained a little bit on me coming through there. But this thing's faster on the straight. Now he's behind me, and if you watch the timer, he loses it a little bit. I think he goes super wide, so instead of just slowing down, he decides his race is screwed, so he might as well screw my race too. So whatever, he wants to do that, that's fine. I understand. He thought I completely smashed him off the track again, so I'd be pissed too. So we'll skip to later on in the race coming up, and he'll show you what happens again. He's in front of me now, but he's got a 2-second penalty. And the guy behind me hits me there. I bet that was, I think, an accident more than anything. So we'll skip ahead now. So here we are. He makes a pretty big mistake coming through the S's, and we go through his ghosted car, but now he's right behind me. And we're coming up to another nice tight corner with a big braking zone. And he takes it upon himself to absolutely smash, right into the side of me, says, F you, buddy, and screws my race. So I doubt he thinks we're even, so if I see him again, he's probably going to try to wreck me again. Now here's the last race that I did. I threw in here with this car, just because I had it was a really interesting start to the race. So I'm behind that Sandro guy and Wrecker, I think his name is. I can't see it right now. So I figure if I can settle in behind these guys, I'll learn maybe how to be a bit faster at this track. But coming up in the first corner, I'm already gaining, so I usually do pretty well through this section at the start of the race. And we're both closing in right now, slowly gaining on the leader. And the leader makes a huge mistake here. Tries to go through this corner a little too far inside. loses it on the grass, and spins out. The wall saves her a little bit, or him, and then I tapped that guy there. That was pretty, questionable move. He slid out a bit, and I came into him, and I didn't let off too much. So now we're side by side going down the back straightaway, super tight. I slow down quite a bit because I know we're not going to make it side by side fast through this corner, which is a good thing because he goes by me and then flies right off the track. And I'm left with open road and nobody behind me. So that Sandra guy or girl gets a penalty. I don't know what for. Or maybe that was Wrecker. That was Wrecker. I don't know why they got a penalty. But anyway, the Sandro person passes them, and I actually thought they were going to catch me because they're faster than me for sure. At least on, like, fastest lap-wise. I think their fastest lap is, like, half a second faster than mine. So we'll skip to the end, and it actually ended up with a huge lead, surprisingly. Because when that Sandro person, I've noticed, gets behind, I saw this in another race too with them, they definitely start pushing the car and making mistakes. But when they're in the lead, and they have clean sailing, they fly. They're gone. So I win this race. It was a really, I don't know, I was pretty happy with it. I actually got fastest lap even though I didn't have, like, the best laps. And it was my 50th win, so pretty good way to get your 50th win. Hopefully I can get 50 more eventually. See you later, Technonaut Game.